Would you dare to visit the world's most haunted places? Places where the veil between our world and the next is paper thin, where echoes of tragedy and despair become a living, breathing energy. These are not movie sets or Halloween attractions. These are real locations with terrifying histories. Tonight we journey into darkness. I've dedicated my life to seeking out these hotspots, to communicate with the spirits, to understand their stories. Our first stop takes us deep into the canals of Xochimilco, near Mexico City, to a place like a waking nightmare, La Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. This small island is not meant for the living. It is a shrine, a memorial born from tragedy and obsession. The trees are not filled with leaves, but with the bodies of thousands of decaying, mutilated dolls. Close up. Decaying, mutilated dolls. Their plastic eyes, some missing, some cracked, seem to follow your every move. Their silent screams are carried on the wind. The legend begins with the caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera. He found the body of a young girl who had drowned in the canal. Soon after, a doll surfaced nearby, which he believed was hers. To honor her and ward off evil, he hung the doll on a tree. One doll was not enough. For 50 years he covered the island with appeasing effigies. We now cross the Atlantic to a fortress steeped in 1,000 years of blood, betrayal, and royal torment. The Tower of London. Palace, prison, execution ground. Its stones cry out with pain. The energy here is ancient, powerful, profoundly sorrowful. Executed in 1536, Anne Boleyn is seen near Tower Green and the Chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. Witnesses report her full apparition, sometimes bearing her severed head. The princes in the tower, Edward the Foe and Richard, appear small, terrified, hands clasped. Disembodied weeping has been captured, voices soaked in fear. Other entities are more violent. The Countess relives her brutal end, sprinting through the corridors. Sudden cold, unseen hands. The living are not welcome. A vortex of the restless dead, more than legend. A presence. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, haunting beauty and profound sadness. Infamous not for scenery, but for the lives ended within. Roots, moss, black volcanic rock, a maze you can't trust. The despair here is palpable. For centuries, tied to death and demons in Japanese myth. Ubasut once practiced here, abandonment in famine, seeding sorrow. Yurei, trapped spirits, linger between worlds. Devices fail, rich iron deposits to some, paranormal to others. Screams and mournful wails ride the wind. Belongings left behind, heartbreak made physical. Those who search feel a crushing weight the moment they enter. Walk here, and you walk a graveyard of lost souls, a place that does not want to let you go. In Philadelphia stands a crumbling Gothic fortress, Eastern State Penitentiary. Built in 1829, the world's most famous, most expensive prison. A radical experiment in isolation meant to force penitence. Inmates ate, slept, worked in silence, solitude that drove men insane. 142 years of misery, madness, and violence left scars you can still touch. Break the rules, meet barbarity, a pressure cooker of negative energy. Today, one of America's most haunted buildings, countless teams including mine, document activity. Cell Block 12, cackling laughter, figures that sprint just out of sight. Cell Block 4, ghostly faces bloom in the dark. Doors slam themselves, someone weeps where no one is. Capone was tormented by a victim's ghost. Even now, whispers and a watching shadow remain, sentences served beyond death. In the Venetian lagoon lies an island so dark the government forbids entry. Poveglia, the island of madness, the island of no return. From Rome through the Black Death, the sick were shipped here by the tens of thousands. Many were burned alive. Over 160,000 perished. The ground is said to be half ash and bone. In 1922, a mental hospital opened here, isolation masquerading as therapy. Patients saw plague victims, heard the dead. A sadistic doctor performed brutal lobotomies, taking patients to the bell tower. Driven mad, he leapt. A mist rose and finished what gravity began. Fishermen avoid Pavalia, afraid their nets will dredge up remains. Trespassers feel watched and hear the bell toll, though the bell is long gone. In Rajasthan, the ruins of Bangar stand beautiful and cursed. This is not a suggestion, it is law. Legends made it infamous. First, a sage warned, "Let no wall shadow touch his hermitage." Expansion broke the pact. A curse fell. Another tells of Singya, who bewitched perfume to ensnare Princess Ratnavati. She broke the spell. The boulder crushed him. With dying breath he cursed the city. No soul reborn. After dark, music echoes. Women scream. Armor clanks with no army in sight. Shadows follow. An icy hand finds you. Some who stayed vanished. Locals build without roofs, lest curses make them fall. They say the holy man's words still bind the land. In St. Francisville, a beautiful antebellum home hides a violent secret. The Myrtles Plantation, called one of America's most haunted homes, charm draped over murder, poison, and injustice. The most famous spirit is Chloe. Caught listening, her master had her ear cut off. She hid the scar beneath green cloth. Seeking to regain favor, she baked an oleander cake, intending illness, not death. But tragedy struck. The wife and 2 daughters died. Fearing wrath, others hanged Chloe from a nearby tree. Her apparition is seen and photographed still. She peers from doorways, stands at beds. Handprints bloom on mirrors. The house moves with Will, a child in glass. William Winter dying on the 17th step. We have journeyed through shadows, from tormented dolls to cursed ruins, from plague-ridden shores to blood-soaked halls. These are nexuses of pain, echoes that refuse to fade, documented accounts, personal experiences, historical tragedies, a psychic stain. The energy is real, and it demands respect. Spirits and inmates, souls of islands, each with a story. The veil is fragile. The truest stories are the most terrifying. Now, the question is not for me, but for you. After all you've seen and felt, would you dare spend a night in any of these places? Tell us below, and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. Stay safe, and never stop seeking answers.